very hard up front, starting the press, coming in midfield, tackling as well in midfield, supporting the wing players. So his performance up front and the defensive stability have really stood out for me in terms of Mexico. Last night they benefited from a goalkeeping blunder, which led to the goal. South Korea really acquitted themselves well. They were quite impressive, in my opinion, technically. Going forward, they look really well, but Mexico just were able to withstand them. And I think Mexico are one of the teams that could find themselves going very deep in the tournament with the home advantage and with how they are defended.
Yeah, they lost one of their defenders who started the first game to a straight red card, so he was absent for yesterday's encounter. Yet they still look pretty much. How many shots did they give up in the game, Yashima? Didn't they give up a lot of shots at all? So tell us how strong this Mexican defense is, and in tournaments, if you're not conceding goals, you can go far.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought Preacher made a great point in terms of how solid they were defensively. I made a point after the first game when Cesar Montes was sent off. He's the vice captain. I made a point that Edson Alvarez, who is their captain, but didn't have played a lot during the season because of injuries, they would basically push him back and play him at centre half. Generally, when everyone is fit and available, Edson Alvarez played in the middle of the park, but he's also comfortable playing at centre half, which is what they did yesterday. But in terms of how solid they are defensively, everything starts in that midfield and how they work extremely hard. And what was also quite impressive, particularly in this game, because I thought this game they would have been tested a bit more given the quality of South Korea, is the work without the ball and how they were able to basically stifle and strangle the South Koreans for time and space on the ball. And the likes of Son Heung-min and Kang In-lee, they never really got much chance in the attacking third or even deeper in midfield to really have any sort of influence on the game, which is quite impressive because Kang In-lee has an excellent passing range. If he's getting a lot of touches, in your half or in the attacking third, he can create something. So to see the likes of Gutierrez and Romo and Lira really stifle them, and even the wide players coming back, it shows you they're showing discipline. It shows you a level of preparedness to know where the danger will most likely come from, and of course playing, in their conditions in front of their home fans. That's a massive motivation. And Preacher made a point about Raul Jimenez in terms of him being hungry. Let's not forget that he was basically robbed at the last World Cup of an appearance because of his injury in terms of the concussion. So now he's playing at home at the World Cup for the first time. I mean, he wants to really leave his mark, and so far he's playing really, really well.
All right, indeed. So the Mexicans are true. I'm sure, based on what we saw in the first game and then yesterday, South Koreans should be able to brush aside South Africa and join the Mexicans in the second round. Don't you think so?
Well, definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Ashima.
Yeah, look, I thought what worked against South Korea yesterday again was just the work rate of the Mexicans, also a bit of physicality as well. And on the day, the likes of Son, Kang In-lee, and Hwang Ingbom, they just never had an influence on the game. Those are the players who can really make a difference. And as I said, though their influence on the game was really stifled and snuffed out by the Mexicans, their work rate without the ball. And defensively, they're very, very solid. So they have a lot of quality and enough quality to get past South Africa. Now, from my perspective, it would be quite surprising if they don't go at least to the round of 16.
Yeah, so you think they should be comfortable going through beating South Africa?
Certainly.
You agree, Preacher?
Yeah, the South Koreans should be fine. I have them beating South Africa. The third place spot is still open for Czechia, and I would imagine that Mexico would want to perhaps rest some of their players, knowing that they've already topped the zone going into the round of 32. So Czechia might find themselves playing against a weakened Mexican outfit and could fancy themselves probably getting something from that game. They would need at least 4 points, in my opinion, to get to the next round. So that's the game of any interest. The other one, South Africa hasn't shown that they can really threaten quality teams. So I expect them to be out of the tournament.
All right, so we go back. We go to Group B. That was on hand yesterday as well, and the teams that all three of us pick. Well, I'm not so sure if anybody picked Bosnia, but I remember I know one of you picked Canada and Switzerland, like myself. They have taken control of the group. They both won yesterday. Um, Yashima said he had some reservations about the Canadian turning chances into goals. They scored six yesterday. Was it a case of a poor team in Qatar also playing with 10 men for majority of the game? Or was the Canadians just really, really good on the day? Which was it, Yashima? They won the game 6-0, by the way. Listen.
Well, both can be true at the same time. I mean, they got off to a good start with Kyle Larin very early, so they were in the ascendancy already. And before the red card, I believe they were 2-0 up, I believe. So they were basically on their way. But again, Qatar is not really a quality team, and I thought they started out really, really brightly, really, really well. And of course, after the red card, it really was no contest. And maybe this game came at the right time for the Canadians because one of their big players in the form of Jonathan David, he got a hat trick, so his confidence should be up. Kyle Lowry not scored in 2 games consecutively, but of course, that victory has been marred by the loss of Ismail Kone, who suffered a really terrible injury, and he's one of the key players in the middle of the park in terms of going from box to box and linking the midfield to the attack. So that's a big loss for them going into the next round. But it was a good display. But again, we can't really judge this Canadian team, playing against a Qatar because they never really offer much resistance.
Preacher?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed in Qatar and perhaps in their approach to the game. We saw them against Switzerland. They defended stoutly. They were probably lucky to have gotten a point out of the game. But knowing that going up against the home team would be probably the toughest challenge for them, I thought they came out with a little bit of naivety. And so Canada capitalized on that. I must commend the Canadian coaching staff. They brought in Larin to start this game. He came off the bench in the first game, and got the goal. And I think they have recognized that up front it was just not working between Jonathan David and the youngster who they had started in the first game. So bringing Larin into the starting lineup really proved effective for them. And then the floodgates opened once the numbers started to decrease for Qatar team. Unfortunate injury for Kone. Don't want to see any player leaving the field with a broken leg. So that's a big loss for Canada. But I think getting Jonathan David on the score sheet, getting that forward line issue sorted out for Canada is really good for them. And even though I don't have them going very far in the tournament, the fact that they're going to be at home Zidane for the round of 32 and the round of 16. That could prove very helpful to them in terms of the buoyancy that the home crowd will bring.
All right, so Canada will face Switzerland in their final game.
Top of the table clash to determine the winner of the group.
Is Bosnia Herzegovina still in with a chance because they face a Qatar team who is out of it pretty much? Well, Qatar would think that there's a third place to be battling for. So you think the third place? Well, this third place battle is going to be very, very coming down to the wire in all the groups. But who we are seeing? We are seeing that will finish third in this group between Bosnia and when they face Qatar in the final game.
Well, I'm gonna say Bosnia. If you look on their record coming into the World Cup. And even before yesterday, they very rarely concede more than 1 goal in a game. So defensively, they're quite good. And I thought that even before the introduction of Joan Manzambi yesterday, they were quite solid, and Switzerland were quite frustrated. So from a defensive standpoint, I don't expect Qatar to cause them that many problems. And they do have players in their team, Bosnia, that can score goals. So hopefully the likes of Ajeko will wake up. Also, Deramovic should come to the party. So I think Bosnia has enough in terms of experience, in terms of quality to get a victory against the Qatar team.
All right, we shall see. That one will be a good one between Canada and Switzerland. I can predict from now that one is likely to end in a draw. Yeah, they're gonna play it safe and ensure that they
The
both.
Swiss have underperformed. I thought they
Yeah,
would be
that was a shocking performance
better.
against Qatar.
It was. So I just hope that with the injection of Aman Zambi, his influence on the game yesterday, maybe he can come in the starting 11. But we'll see.
What do you guys make of this penalty situation where a youngster would have gotten the opportunity to score a hat trick in the World Cup, and Granit Xhaka, game was no question about the result, was 3-1. It was very, very late, and Granit Xhaka still went on to take the penalty. You have any thoughts on that, Preacher?
I mean, the tournament is about the team. It's not about the individual. I think Xhaka is the designated penalty taker. So, getting your designated penalty taker to step up and get a penalty, I don't see a problem with it. The youngster is a youngster as well. Perhaps if he were an elder statesman in the team, perhaps if he were one of the, marquee players, he would have had the social capital to say, hey, I'm taking this one. But no, I don't think it's an issue. I mean, at the end of the day, a goal is a team goal. So, yeah.
Your thoughts, Yashima?
Wow, it's a difficult one because I can see from both perspectives in terms of the designated penalty take and so on. But when you have a young player coming on and he had such an amazing impact, you want to let him have as much confidence as possible and momentum as well. So, and him scoring a hat trick would really do himself a lot of confidence. So I believe that Granit Xhaka, he should have at least gave him the penalty just to let him feel good about himself. All the discussion would be around him getting a hat trick, 20 years old and coming and changing the game. That would be good for him, but also the group as well. And so I believe, from my perspective, with the game really sewn up, that Xhaka should have given the young striker the penalty.
Yeah, man, I think it was pretty cruel on the part of Granit Xhaka to not give him that opportunity to score.
It's because of a little Arsenal agenda.
No, not necessarily. I just thought a striker has an opportunity to get a hat trick in a football game, because you might need a striker for him to feel like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread going right through to the tournament. So I think you should have allowed him. But I even though I think it was cruel, I do understand where you want, because goal difference might come into play and you want to ensure that the best chance of scoring the penalty would have been the designated guy. But I think they should have given the youngster the opportunity. All right, we take another break, and when we come back, we start to look at the groups that are coming up today in terms of Brazil and Morocco on hand, and then the game that is coming up at 2 p.m. is Australia versus the United States of America. We'll take a break. We're coming back.
Jamaica, this summer football season, we're taking it outside. The biggest watch party is going down at Caymanas Park. Watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 on Rush Sports, the official broadcaster at Caymanas Park, on the biggest outdoor screen. Up your crew, pull up and watch your favorite teams compete from June 12th to July 19th. Just bet tailgate party at Caymanas Park. Be there. Big vibes, best odds, only with Just Bet. Visit at JustBetJA on Instagram for more details. Must be 18 years or older. Please game responsibly. Just Bet.
The hurricane season is fast approaching. Protect your roof with Lanka Roof Coatings. Members say 1 gallon cover 50 square feet, while 5 gallon cover 250 square feet. Or sometime you may have to use the roof coating primer to get better bonding. But please, nobody try stretch the roof coating, and make sure you give it a second coat for maximum protection. Lanka Paints, your waterproofing expert. Get your Lanka Roof Coatings at your local hardware.
It is your right to know what you want. Information at your fingertips. It's for the man in the streets, for those in business. Information for everybody. No hazard, so you can use it to develop your community. Your right to know information at your fingertips.
A message from the Access to Information Unit.
You're listening to Omega Radio's 2026 FIFA World Cup show. Sponsored by Access to Information, Right to Know, Power to Change, and Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
Alrighty then, welcome back to the World Cup show here on Omega Radio Sports, as you heard. And let me just give you a rundown of what will be on hand today in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So coming up at 2 p.m. local time, it's USA versus Australia. The winner of that game, I think, will advance through to the next round if there is a winner. And then at 5 p.m. from the other group, that's Group C, you have Scotland versus Morocco. And Group C again, then next it will be at 7:30 p.m. the team that Jamaicans love the most, because we are a set of wagonists and they have won the most. That 7:30 is Jamaica versus the Caribbean team Haiti. And then the game that tops off the night, it will be, or day, will be Turkey versus Paraguay. Oh, I think could be one of the cagey ones, but let's see. But those are the games on and for today. But let's go and have a look at the Group C situation before we get on to what is happening in the Australia-USA game. And we're talking about Scotland versus Morocco. Scotland, many thought that they didn't deserve to win that game. There were some decisions that many don't agree. They're saying Haiti got robbed. Haiti did well in the game. Preacher, you think Morocco should be smooth sailing this afternoon against the Scottish team, or who knows, it could be a tough game?
I wouldn't use smooth sailing. I think Moroccans are going into the game and should be favorites. Technically, we saw how good they are. Yashima mentioned the youngster in the middle of the park who was really impressive against Brazil. They should have perhaps gotten another goal or so against Brazil, Morocco, with the level of domination that they displayed in the first half. But what we know about Scotland, like most European teams, they're going to come and they're going to be well structured. They're going to play a physical and disciplined game defensively. They're not going to be as open as Brazil was. Because Brazil's style of play, the flair, and even though Ancelotti is trying to make the team a little bit stronger defensively and play from the back forward, we still know that Brazil is not the kind of team that is going to try to defend and then catch you on odd counters. Scotland may structure themselves that way today, and McTominay and company will be trying to control the midfield, because I think that's the strength of the Moroccan team outside of what they do on Hakimi's side. So I don't expect it to be smooth sailing. I think Scotland will be up for the fight, but I do have Morocco going in as the favorites.
All right, Yashima, same question for you.
It's amazing that we're not talking about, the 2016 European champions, but let me not say much. Well, I think in this game, as Peter mentioned, Morocco certainly goes into this game as heavy favorites, given what we saw from them. Again, in terms of Scotland, their strength is what they do in the middle of the park in terms of, making it very, very difficult for the opposition to play through them to target their defensive unit. That is not the best, but they work extremely hard. So in terms of, play in a low block, that's what I expect, and the likes of Che Adams to provide the outlet on the counter attack. McTominay and John McGinn in the middle of the park will try to, get up to Che Adams and Shankland if they start as a pair to, provide that support on the break. But overall, though, given the quality that Morocco has, and how expansive they can be with Hakimi down the right hand side, of course, El Canous and Brahim Diaz provided support for Saibari, who has actually completed his move to Bayern Munich from PSV Eindhoven, so he should be feeling good about himself. I expect Morocco to dominate the game in terms of possession, but they certainly have the players to break through this stout Scottish defensive setup. But again, Saibari is not necessarily a goal scorer, he's more of a creator. So we may see Ayoub El Kaabi starting up front today, given that they perhaps will create a lot more chances and they need somebody to finish off those chances.
All right, indeed. You were saying something about the European chat. Didn't we talk about Portugal already?
No.
Oh, All right, so we will have time. All right, so preacher, who you have for this one?
I'm going to give the edge to the Moroccans. I think they might just edge it 2-1. Yeah.
All right, so let's now look at the other game in the group, and this the team that the Jamaicans love the most, Brazil. They face a fighting spirited Haiti team. You think this will be Brazil, and they drew the first game, some criticism in some quarters, even though it was a tough game against a good Morocco team. You think the Haitians are in trouble this evening, preacher?
For sure. I think Haiti, unfortunately, are going to go up against a Brazil team that would be, wounded from their draw against Morocco and will be out for the kill. So, I just think it will be too much for the Haitians today. Brazil will be looking to bounce back, and I'm pretty sure Ancelotti is going to be a little bit more aggressive and attacking against this Asian outfit, and we can see how one of those big scores in this game. Yeah, wow. I can see a 4-goal, 5-goal win for Brazil.
Wow.
Let me ask you this both. If there's the possibility of a new, because we have only had 8 World Cup champions, right?
Yes.
Are we seeing? I don't know who you selected. Well, I know you selected among the 8 that have won it before. But if there's going to be a new champion to make it 9, who do you think that will be? You would have had that thinking before the World Cup, and now you have seen all the teams. Who you think that could make it 9 World Cup champions in history?
Well, coming into this tournament, I actually thought that Portugal, based on what they've done over the last year and the form and the team they have in this tournament, certainly had a massive shot. And they still have a chance, because I think that the strength in depth that they have right across the pitch, they certainly can be the 9th team to win it. But it's going to be very difficult. And Roberto Martinez will have some big decisions to make, and he has to make them very, very quickly.
What are those big decisions?
Well, he has to sort out the Ronaldo problem, because whether or not Ronaldo plays, whether or not he starts, that's going to be a conversation. If he starts, there's going to be a question mark about what does he do for the team. If he doesn't start, it's going to be a big headline to say Ronaldo is on the bench, and whoever starting in his place is going to be under pressure. So he has to make a decision very, very quickly, because given the way they play, we always talk about Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, Pep Guardiola's Man City, and even the PSG team. Now, one of the reasons they are effective is because of the movement of players in the final third. When they're going to play as a striker for those teams, move the ball so well, it's all about fluidity and, movement that create time and space on the ball for midfield runners to come in, also players in wide areas. Ronaldo cannot do that at this stage of his career. So coming into the tournament, I thought that he would be used as an impact substitute, coming on with, say, 15-20 minutes to go when, defenders are a bit tired. And we know he's still one of the best, if not the best, finishers in the game. But in terms of, constantly moving in the channels, pulling out wide, quick combination, running in behind, he perhaps can't do that at this stage. And so that's a big problem for Martinez, because if the midfield player doesn't have the options in terms of stretching the opposition, that's going to be a problem for them.
Big problem. All right, preacher.
You know what's going to happen, Zidane? Martinez is going to stick with the same starting 11, and Portugal are going to maul Uzbekistan. And Ronaldo might very well score 2 goals in that game against Uzbekistan. And then everybody, all the Ronaldo fans and people are going to again start saying, see, that's why the man for, the side and all of that stuff. Because Uzbekistan are the type of team that Portugal plays in World Cup qualifying. And Ronaldo bangs in the goals. And the fallacy of thinking that Ronaldo is the answer up front is going to continue after this Uzbekistan game. So I don't expect Martinez to do anything different. He actually came out and justified playing Cristiano Ronaldo for the entirety of the game. The midfield, as Yashima says, will definitely need to do more with Ronaldo being the main striker. And the type of players that they have playing on the flanks are not the type of players who are given to making those crosses that Ronaldo would want at this stage of his career, where he can just lounge in the box and get crosses coming in, and he can find one of his traditional headers and stuff like that. That's not the kind of players that are playing in the wide positions of Portugal. These are players who want to get on the ball, get by players, get a shot off for themselves, put in crosses from time to time, not all the time. And so I think Ronaldo is definitely holding them back, but I don't expect Martinez to make any changes at all.
All right, but you can answer the question. Great analysis there from you, by the way. But who was the team that you thought could make it 9 World Cup champions in history?
Yeah, Portugal would have been the team. I have Norway as a dark horse team that I think could cause some problems. So it would be Portugal, of course, and the dark horse Norway. Yeah.
All right, indeed. So let's see. All right. So that is it for talking about Ronaldo and Portugal. They play again. Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday next week they play. Let's see what happens in that game. But Preacher, that was a great point about him now having a comfortable decision to make, seeing that they're going to face a team that you think, even if Zidane Matters is on the field up front, they're going to beat that team in very important World Cup qualifier game. So he's going to do it, and then he's going to justify it, and then he's going to be in some serious problems there.
Yep.
All right, so now let's move into. All right, let's take the break. Let's not interrupt ourselves at the break. So let's take the break now, and then we'll come back. We look ahead to USA versus Australia.
Alert your loved ones, share your location, and connect instantly with our 24/7 monitoring center. Whether you're at home, working late, or on the road, help is always within reach with voice-activated panic alerts. Call 926-HAWK or visit us online today. Rely on Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
Jamaica, this summer football season, we're taking it outside. The biggest watch party is going down at Caymanas Park. Watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 on Rush Sports, the official broadcaster at Caymanas Park on the biggest outdoor screen in the Caribbean. Link up your crew, pull up and watch your favorite teams compete from June 12th to July 19th. Just bet tailgate party at Caymanas Park. Be there. Big vibes, best odds, only with Just Bet. Visit at Just Bet JA on Instagram for more details. Must be 18 years or older. Please game responsibly. Just Bet.
You're listening to Omega Radio's 2026 FIFA World Cup show. Sponsored by Access to Information, Right to Know, Power to Change, and Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
Alrighty then, welcome back to the World Cup show, and now we will look ahead to the game that is coming up at 2 p.m. Jamaica time, and that's the USA, one of the host nations, and they face the very impressive Australia, who was surprising to the non-really football people that they thought Turkey. They heard Turkey and say, "Oh, Turkey has produced some good football over the last decade or so," but the Australians with a wonderful performance against them. We'll start with you, Yashima Love. What are your expectations for this contest? Yashima?
You're muted, Yashima.
Is it for the Turkey-Paraguay game?
No. USA, Australia.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I expect the Americans to come out again and put in a very good performance. As I said, it's a young team, and even though they're young, most of them are playing their second World Cup game. But Team Ream, I believe this is its 4th World Cup, so it's they have experience, they have youth, and they have the home court behind them. And I think that the way they play in terms of the quick transition and the interchange of position, particularly between Tillman and McKennie, was brilliant, and just how they are solid defensively, and they do have a lot of goals in them. So I expect them to come out, put in another good performance, and to also score quite a few goals. So they should win this game quite comfortably as well.
You agree with that, Preacher? I think Australia was very good. They are ranked. I think they are ranked in the top 25 in the world. Australia, I think Americans will be comfortable in this one also.
Well, I mean, Christian Pulisic is going to be out. He has been ruled out due to a calf injury.
Yes.
So, that will take away some of the potency from the Americans for sure. I mean, the strength of the Americans really is the play in midfield that links up the attack, and Pulisic is central to that. I think the Australians gave up somewhere between 70 to 74% of possession to Turkey, and were committed to playing in a low block and counter-attacking. I don't expect them to do anything different against the Americans. I think they will use the same strategy, and I know that the Americans can be susceptible to that counter. The key for America is going to be getting a goal or getting on the scoreline very early in the game, so it pulls the Australians out. Because they can be very difficult to break down. So I don't think it will be a walk in the park for the Americans. I do expect them to find a way to win the game, but I think it will be a cagey encounter for them, because the counter-attacking threat that the Australians have shown that they have under Popovich, the coach Tony Popovich. He has really built a compact side. Nestor Irankunda, the young winger, full of pace, can really get behind the American backline. He can provide some challenge to the wing backs for America. So I expect a cat and mouse game to be played in this one.
Yeah, Shima, that youngster that came on against Argentina was it the round of 16? Is he?
It's a round of 16.
Is it round of 16 last World Cup?
Is he there? I'm not seeing him.
No, I'm not seeing him in the team.
Oh, that's
but look,
I thought it was a big prospect.
We have seen where the starting lineup, America had basically drafted in Ricardo Pepi for Christian Pulisic. You're talking about a striker who scored 3 goals in 5 appearances in the Champions League last season for PSV Eindhoven. So he's also a quality, a goal threat. And it seems as though they have showed up the midfield. Tillman and McKennie will play a bit deeper in midfield. So look, in terms of the running ability, long power of the American, plus the quality in which they can play, it is going to be a massive test of just how sturdy these Australians can be defensively. And also, let's not forget, the conditions will also favor the Americans in this one as well. So yes, they're going to try and make it as difficult as possible for the Americans, but I believe that with the quality they have, the goal set that they have, America should win this one by at least 2 goals.
When you say the conditions will favor them, what sort of conditions are you talking about?
Right, so about that. It is now 2 p.m. or 3 o'clock, so the sun is going to be quite warm. Australia, most
Australia is a temperate climate.
One of the warmest countries in the world is Australia.
Late at night, so let us see how they will handle this kind of condition, playing at 3 o'clock. In this heat.
And Preacher, I would have thought that if there's one country that would never have a problem with the heat, it would be Australia.
Yeah, I felt the same. I don't think the conditions will be much of a factor for either of the teams, to be honest with you. I think what's going to be key is whether or not America is able to get on the score sheet early in the game, the first 15 minutes. Because that will influence how the rest of the game is played. I think what we saw against Turkey is no fluke. The Australians are the kind of team that have conditioned themselves to play that way. They have conditioned themselves to play in that kind of low block, and they know exactly what they want to do in terms of the points of counter, the counter press, how they are going to do it, and so. Any space that the Americans leave behind will become spaces that they will try to occupy when they get possession of the football. So cagey affair. I can see America coming out with a 2-1 result, but it's not. I don't expect America to walk over them as they did versus Paraguay.
All right. So the Americans, the speed in which they played in that first game, and they won back the ball so clearly, attacks after attacks, and it was tireless. You are the Australian coach Yashima. How do you slow the game down?
Well, that's a difficult one to say, but it's just trying to be as solid as you can be, particularly in the middle of the park. You certainly, in terms of the intensity, you very unlikely that they can go toe to toe with the Americans. So they just have to try, as Peter said, try and frustrate them, try to, not allow them to get into a rhythm, so to speak. So you will just have to try and nullify. Of course, most things are going to go through McKinney today and Tillman, so you have to try and get close to them, not allow them to have much time and space on the ball. So that's also going to be difficult, because if you try to press them, then the likes of Balogun, he has a bit of pace. Ricardo Pepe quite intelligent as well, so they can get in behind you. So it's going to be difficult to see how they try to navigate their way, not allowing those players to have too much influence on the game, but also being solid defensively.
All right. That would be your approach. What would you be trying, Preacher? Are you agreeing with Yashima there?
Well, I wouldn't mind giving up possession to the United States. The aggression, the pace, and all the things you described, they work best when there is space to operate, and when the Americans are able to recover the ball from the other team when the other team is in attack and get on the counter themselves. If you reduce the counter-attacking possibilities for America, you take away some of their pace and their ability to drive at you. That's one. If you create the cool lines of defense in the low block, then you force the Americans to try and play through those lines. That might prove a little bit more challenging for them, because it's not the same kind of spacing that they would have benefited from versus Paraguay. So I think Australia would stick to their low block. They would give up possession. They would be very deliberate in terms of what they do when they recover the football. They would try to slow the game down as much as possible when they are outside of possession. But when they're in possession, they'll try to counter the Americans quickly and take advantage of the pace that they have on the flanks. I think that's the key to them getting a result. It worked for them versus Turkey. I see no reason why they would employ that again in this game against America.
All right, wonderful. All right, Yashima, who are the players for the Australians you think you look at it and say, listen, these two players will be the most important players in terms of the role and what is required to stop the Americans?
All right. So, firstly, in terms of the defensive solidity, it will be led by Harry Suter at the back, big, tall, strapping defender. His positional play is not is not so bad. So he's also the leader at the back, but he's also a threat from set pieces, which is something the Australians can use to hurt the Americans. But in terms of having that threat on the break now, the likes of Matthew Leckie, I think he's playing in his second and third World Cup, so he has some experience. He has the pace as well, and he can finish. So he will have to try and provide that threat. But certainly Suter and O'Neill in the middle of the park, they are the ones who have that little bit of quality in terms of discipline and being the leaders in their respective positions. But the threat on the break must be led by Matthew Leckie because he has the pace.
Indeed. All right. And Preacher, the American, I'm going to ask you from the American standpoint. Is it an individual or two, or they just have to do what they did collectively in their previous game to come out victorious in this one?
Well, as I said, I mean, the game, the complexion of the game might be determined by whether or not the Americans can get a goal in the first 15 or so minutes, and Folarin Balogun is going to be key to that. He got the work done in the game against Paraguay. If he is, if he has his shooting boots on today, then that could prove effective for the Americans. And of course, the midfield, in terms of McKinney, their box-to-box midfielder. I believe the way the Australians are going to be set up, they're going to definitely try to stop things through the middle. So opportunities will be there for Sergio Dest on the right side of the attack for him to get down the flanks and get into the game, and the introduction of Pepe as well as aforementioned by Yashima, the introduction of Pepe, in replacing Pulisic gives you the additional goal scoring potential up front. So those players are players that I believe might help the Americans to get over the line.
All right. So after all that analysis that we heard and all that breakdown, now it's time to think in your mind which one of the coach, which set of the players will execute best and get the desired result. We'll start with you, Yashima. How will this game end?
Well, you have to just look on who was the better coach. I believe Mauricio Pochettino is the better coach. He also has the better set of players in terms of quality, in terms of the level at which they play. And based on the evidence of what we've seen in the first game, it's clearly the Americans should be favorites. Well, they are favorites, and we are thinking that the set of players who are able to execute the coach's construction at a higher level certainly be the Americans as well. So I'm gonna stick with Mauricio Pochettino and the Americans in terms of who are in a better position and who I also think will win this game.
All right, indeed. Preacher?
Yeah, I mean, we know what Pochettino is about with this American team. We have seen it. It's gonna be pressing. It's gonna be aggressive, getting on the ball, trying to get forward early. But I have a lot of time for the Australian coach Tony Popovich. The Australians have built a disciplined, compact team. If I were going to give somebody the edge, I would give it to Pochettino because he has the better overall talent. But in terms of tactical structuring of the team, Tony Popovich gets the nod for me.
So how the game will end?
2-1 for the Americans.
Okay, so you're both going to the Americans. All right, I agree. I think the Americans will win, and I think I'm going with that score as well. Americans to win by 2-1. We look at the first half, and we assess it in 45 minutes' time. Thank you both. See you at halftime.
All right.
All right, so that was Preacher. That was Yashima. We'll take a break from the World Cup show. We'll come back at halftime. Until then, we can take your calls on the sports desk after this commercial break.
When the FIFA World Cup show was sponsored by Access to Information, Right to Know, Power to Change, and Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
The hurricane season is fast approaching. Protect your roof with Lanker Roof Coatings. Members say 1 gallon cover 50 square feet, while 5 gallon cover 250 square feet. Or sometime you may have to use roof coating primer to get better bonding. But please, nobody try to stretch the roof coating and make sure you give it a second coat for maximum protection. Lanker Paints, your waterproofing expert. Get your Lanker Roof Coatings at your local hardware.
Jamaica, this summer football season, we're taking it outside. The biggest watch party is going down at Caymanas Park. Watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 on Rush Sports, the official broadcaster at Caymanas Park on the biggest outdoor screen in the Caribbean. Link up your crew, pull up and watch your favorite teams compete from June 12th to July 19th. Just bet tailgate party at Caymanas Park. Be there. Big fives, best odds, only with Just Bet. Visit at Just Bet JA on Instagram for more details. Must be 18 years or older. Please game responsibly. Just Bet.
You're listening to Omega Radio. Live. Radio Omega. Radio Omega.
It's now time for Jamaica's first and number one daytime sports calling show, The Sports Desk. Call us and let us have a discussion.
All right, greetings and salutations, and welcome to what we would call the traditional part of Sports Desk, where we entertain the calls. Zidane was very busy over the last hour discussing World Cup with Yashima and the man called Damian Hilton, a.k.a. Preacher. But now it's time for us to entertain our callers again. And you know the numbers by now, 615-2841.
Yes.
Or 676-6968, as the USA-Australia game is about to start. This one should be fun. I hear people suggesting that the USA may have looked the most impressive of all teams. Let's see how they look against a team that they're expected to beat. So let's see.
Yes, I want to continue to encourage listeners to support the telethon, which is ongoing.
Yeah.
And as we said, we're not asking anybody to put their what is saying go? No, you don't have to give what that put that where you can reach. That's it go.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. So even if it's $500, people, it's $1,000, $2,000, whatever you can afford to help us to keep the radio ongoing. Just like you see the YouTubers, those YouTube channels that you support, and they always ask you to tap up the screen. They'll say. So they can get paid, so they can have these quality analysis and these programs available to us. We are doing the same.
And the account number is Omega Church Broadcasting Network SA Limited. The account at NCB is 361-400-372. Simple and easy to remember. 361-400-372. That's the account number at NCB that you can send your donations to.
And the name of the account is
Omega Church Broadcasting Network SA Limited.
There you go.
All right. So 615-2841. Now I'm sure that there are sporting topics that you want to address. Now is the time. Now is the place. And we are good and ready to go.
All right. Not quite yet.
All right, yeah, man. We're ready to start the ball rolling. Hello.
Yeah, man. What's going on, man?
This is Franco, man. Good afternoon, Franco.
Yeah, man. Bless up on yourself. Zidane, me I tell you, me not hear the program, you know. Take a chance and call and get through. You know, the program just starting, huh?
Yes.
At least that's what I heard you guys just said.
Yeah, we had a 1 hour World Cup preview show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. Cool, because I ain't getting the station because of the telethon. Yeah, people who can support the telethon, support the thing, man, because General Franco loves sports.
Oh, you're not picking up 89.9 where you're at?
No, I'm not picking up 89.9, 89.1 I'm picking up. Yeah. So I'm not knowing I haven't been knowing what's been going on, man. Yeah, man. So it goes still, bless up.
Yes.
I forgive thanks.
Yeah, what say you today?
Yeah, your brethren look good, man. You like how your brethren look?
Oh, that's Messi.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Brilliant hat trick from him the other day. Yeah, the finishes.
Was it Zidane?
The finishes were great, man. Some great finishes.
Yeah, man, for real, man. I know.
Yeah, that's what big players do. You give them too much time and space, they go and kill you, man. That's what the greats do, you know?
Yeah, for real, man. And he is a great man.
Yeah.
The greatest I've ever seen with my 2 eyes, man. Ain't no joke about that, man. I seen Maradona. I ain't really seen Pele. Saw some little black and white eyes, so I can't say that.
No man play against farmers and them thing they can't better than Messi before.
Yeah, man, try that crap, man. Try that crap, man.
I
joke. But to that,
yes.
I'm telling you, man, listen, man. Even against farmers and them people, like carpenters and stuff, man. That man was 17 doing that thing still, boy.
True.
Gotta give him props for that, man.
You're correct, man.
Yeah, man. The young youth on the big stage, man. It's so fantastic. I can't believe that little black boy wasn't going on like.
Well, when he flicked the ball away, defended and volleyed it, man. That was something. The goal that I always see where he flicked the ball away, defenders head and then volleyed it in the net, man. That was something special.
Yeah, man. I saw a picture of that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for real, yo. Yeah, man, no joke. But see that, I talk to you for you keep your party, man. So you rate your mind, yo. That was very strategic. Date.
Yeah.
Just before the Champions League final.
Yeah, we never want to take the check.
The result that did happen, man. That's brilliant, man. That's good thinking, yo.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, man, for real. So how was it? Was a good turnout?
Yeah, man, nice, good turnout, man. The vibe was great for the most part, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real, yo. You know what say, Zidane? I ain't telling you no lie, man. You know, Brazil on my side, you know, but me, I tell you, you know, bro. I'm telling you, you know, bro. I got my eyes on Messi here, man. this Argentinian team, man, I've been watching them for about 2 years or so, man.
Yeah, because
they ain't no joke even without Messi, man.
They blow away the field in the qualifiers.
Yeah, man, Zidane, listen, right? Before they played quite a few matches without Messi, you know, and I don't think they lost any of them matches.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
They're in doing it, man.
So that means it's a quality team.
Yeah.
Add Messi to that. Wow. May I give them a good chance? Me have give them a good chance. I think France are going to be extra difficult.
If Portugal have a chance with Ronaldo.
I give Argentina because of Messi, man. That kid, fantastic. But Orville, let me ask you a question real quick.
Yes.
1983, right? 1983. I think I was about 13 or something. Maybe. Yeah, man. Listen, man. That World Cup match we lost, man. West Indies, right?
Yes.
Didn't we lose that? We won it in 79, right? We lose in 83, right?
Yes, exactly.
Against India in the final. Who bat first, yo? Wasn't it West Indies? Was it India? Who bat first?
India made 180 something.
70 something, right?
170 odd, 180 odd, and we couldn't.
Yeah, man.
We fell short by about 40 something runs.
Me say, yo, I cried. I could not believe it, yo. When me hear we have 180 something. I say, yo.
Well, that was supposed to be 3 straight World Cups for us.
Yeah. With this World Cup, yeah, I know, yo.
Yeah, man.
When the man them all out, man, I could not believe. I'm like, no, sir. Tomorrow, me I go hear for sports say that wasn't real. I see the real result. West Indies win. I could not believe it, man.
One of the biggest shots in sporting history.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. As I look at you, yo, I could not believe that we lost. I said, no, sir. No, sir. Yeah, man, cause our cricket was firing back then, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it was firing, man. It was brilliant, man. Yeah, man. Anyway, bless up and I want to heal up Everett. And you don't know, Cat and Nine boss, me great motivator. Your brethren, when you they saw me yesterday, no see that?
Yeah, man.
Credit boss, he slapped me, yo.
Yeah, man.
Heal up credit boss. Franco, I heal you up again. You get what I'm saying, yo?
Yes, indeed, man.
All right.
Yeah, man, bless up.
All right, bless up, Frank.
Bless up to that. Bless up, Orville.
Yeah, man, cool, Franco. All right, so we move on. 615-2841. That was Franco talking about a 83 final. That was a huge upset at the time. Hello?
Well, me. Hello?
CC.
Me on a call.
What is wrong with CC? Yes, man.
Yes. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know this lady. I run me down every minute, man. I'm on a call, right? Sure. Anyway, yes, so, World Cup, Zidane, there was something that happened in the Portugal game where, it was highly micro-analyzed. You play with me, sir.
Where Ronaldo should have done it.
Analyzed and scrutinized. When they say Ronaldo should have done the ball.
Yes.
And Bruno Fernandes run on and take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
We know in training you practice certain routines. However, if you're a player, haven't scored in a major tournament in 9 games, you're a striker, and your main attribute to the team is goal scoring. What would you do in that moment, Zidane?
Me? I dummy the ball.
Yes.
Dummy.
You're dummying the ball.
Yeah.
Right, fine.
Cause the team come first.
Yeah. What would you do in that time, Orville? It's your instinct. You're in the game. You play the game. You haven't scored in a while in a major tournament. There an opportunity comes. You're not sure. So what would you do?
I don't think I remember seeing the incident directly. So I'm not sure which incident.
Yeah. All right. So the incident was a scenario where there was a run on the flank. The ball was pulled back. Bruno Fernandes was behind Cristiano Ronaldo. They were in the 6-yard box. Cristiano Ronaldo attacked the ball, take a shot. He didn't go on target, and they said he should have left it so it come to Bruno, would have gotten a better shot.
Well, me no know. Without seeing it, I don't want to judge, but me know strikers like to shoot.
But anyway,
yeah,
they might analyze that thing. Zidane, there was a passage of play where Cristiano Ronaldo caught the ball, isolated, and dragged two defenders towards him, did a step over, pulled 2 defenders, passed the ball to Bruno Fernandes. You know what Bruno Fernandes did?
What?
You know what he did? Turn the ball back to the midfield. Remember now, Ronaldo was in the box with the ball, with two defenders that he's pulled out of possession with him. And he passed the ball back to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno turned back and turned the ball back. Didn't turn and drive. Didn't try to square the ball in the box for somebody to get an opportunity. Nothing forward to test the keeper. Turn it back into the middle of the park. I've not heard any one of the analysts, including Thierry Henry, mention that passage of play. You know what he mentioned? The Ronaldo passage of play. Why is that so? Because Cristiano Ronaldo, being the major superstar that he is, anything.
No, he's no longer a superstar.
No, man, I can't agree with that.
He is a superstar?
Yes, no, man. He may not be the player he was, but superstar, yes.
No, what is a superstar in sports? Now, somebody who...
So, all right. So
even if Messi play flat man, a superstar,
I still think Cristiano Ronaldo...
USA score.
You can't get away from that.
Huh?
You can't get away from that.
No, man, Ronaldo is a superstar.
I was thinking that superstar has to do with your level of play, but I hear you all.
But Orville, the problem that I have, the level of play is last year in the Nations League. People are going to say, Nations League, last year in the Nations League. He scored on Germany, got them out. He scored on Spain in the final, same way. So even though it's the major, Cristiano Ronaldo, in the Nations League last year, he was the one scoring in the semi-final. He was the one scoring in the final as well. And people fail to highlight that. Before Cristiano Ronaldo played...
What's the point you're making, though? You feel people are too harsh on... That's
the point I'm making.
Is that people too harsh for Ronaldo?
You cannot microanalyze one play and make it that the basis of what the team, that would have been the basis under which the team would have lost out. That play...
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
I'm saying
wouldn't be the
you
first
cannot
time.
microanalyze one single play and base your reason saying that this player is not about the team and it's more about him. And one
who is saying what exactly?
Thierry Henry, who was a...
Oh, says Henry you're having an issue with. And what did Henry say?
I have an issue with Henry's analysis of the game.
What did
he was microanalyzing one passage of play when Cristiano Ronaldo stepped in and took a shot.
And he said what?
Thought the ball should have gone to Bruno Fernandes.
And he said what?
Cristiano Ronaldo should know that it is the team that needs to score, not him that needs to score.
Oh. Well, I never watched that game then. So I don't want to comment.
I'm saying to you, if people who watches the game can know that there are several things. There was 0 big chances created from the midfield. Vitinha, where the other guy named Joe Neves, Bruno Fernandes, 2 of them win Champions League recently. One of them is the playmaker of the season. 0 big chances, Orville. You've heard this.
So what has changed? If they are coming out of their seasons dominating from midfield, maybe it's the person who them are playing up front for them that cause the problem.
So the person up front stop them from creating a chance.
I'm saying maybe his movement is so awful, it's ordinary. Him not pull away. He no longer has the ability to get into the right position.
So is the big striker at Manchester United?
No, I'm saying, I'm not talking about... No, I'm saying to you, the strikers at United, their movements is good. They can run in behind. I think you're reasoning from a fanatic standpoint. Ronaldo is an all-time great.
Neymar is my player.
No, I'm not talking about your player, but Ronaldo is a big player, man. But Ronaldo is a former big player, not a big player anymore.
I wouldn't spend money to go and watch Cristiano.
But I'm saying to you, all right, so what kind of perspective you are reasoning? You're not analyzing the thing properly.
Ronaldo is that I'm reasoning from
when you're a midfield man, you want people who can run in behind and run off and pull off and all something and pull back. Yeah, man, run to Orville. We don't care management.
Run a big chance.
Run to Orville.
I'm not running to nobody. I'm not running to Orville.
But me say sometimes you talk about Orville.
No, you're saying to me that it's Cristiano Ronaldo who has stopped Bruno Fernandes.
No, I never said that. You know, I'm saying he's a part of the man problem because them have other strikers in them club where can pull out, running behind and all them which he can do.
So you're saying that if they had a different striker, they would create a big chance.
I think if Ronaldo come off of the field,
they lost the ability to create.
No, man. You are creating. No, what you're doing now is creating some things that I'm not saying. You know,
But you're creating something that I'm not saying either.
I'm saying to you.
Prevented them from creating.
Listen to me. I'm saying to you. I'm saying Ronaldo become turning a bug, me boss. Turning a big bug in international tournament football. Is that part of the problem? You laugh. The man is a bug in international tournament football now.
You watch Cristiano Ronaldo in the Nations League.
It's not a big. That is not a big competition. The Nation League is a bush league. Bush league. So I come going on a bush league. I'm saying to you, I'm saying to you, the same way I'm going. Yes, because a bush league. No matter who they did, the man will take it serious. It's same thing. Me tell you about the club work. Hey, CC, I see the one about. Hold on. I'm going to say this. Hold on. We're coming back.
Jamaica, this summer football season, we're taking it outside. The biggest watch party is going down at Caymanas Park. Watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 on Rush Sports, the official broadcaster at Caymanas Park on the biggest outdoor screen in the Caribbean. Link up your crew, pull up and watch your favorite teams compete from June 12th to July 19th. Just that tailgate party at Caymanas Park. Be there. Big vibes, best odds, only with JustBet. Visit at JustBetJA on Instagram for more details. Must be 18 years or older. Please game responsibly.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers pride themselves in being professionals in the field of insurance broking, claim settlement, and risk management services for over 35 years. We offer a wide range of insurance services including motor, property, liability, accident, life and international health for individuals and companies at competitive rates. Call 926-3572 or visit 7.5 Haining Road, Kingston 5 or shop number 3 James Plaza, Mandeville. Call 625-6804 or visit online spectrumjamaica.com. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standards.
You're listening to Omega Radio, broadcasting live. Omega Radio, Omega Radio, Omega.
You're listening to Jamaica's first and number one daytime sports calling show, The Sports Desk.
Back with you, CC.
So I'm going to address one thing. Orville, my entire argument is this. The entire Portuguese team was poor on the day, and that's the reason. One of the major reasons why they did not win that game. They were poor. They did not create enough chances. They did not create enough big chances. And the midfielders who are responsible for the creative thing of the game, they were poor on the day. So by their standards, it's not one single player that contributed to them not winning that game. So this analysis that people are giving and blaming one single
you're confused. You're confused. You're saying
the reason why I'm saying
people are saying it's Ronaldo make them lose.
People are saying it's Ronaldo is the reason why Portugal.
Hey, what a man dangerous.
Me no hear nobody say that.
You know nobody say that.
So is Ronaldo why them lose?
Did you hear anybody say Bruno Fernandes should go on the bench? You heard people say Ronaldo should go
why
on the
would
bench.
Why would Bruno Fernandes go on the bench?
Let me ask you. No, well I know, Orville, you heard people say Ronaldo should go on the bench, right?
Orville, more talk to you.
No. All I'm
Mr. Ask what you heard. Did you
I have not heard, I have heard criticisms of Ronaldo. I've read, I've watched, but I've not heard anybody saying that it is he.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying to you, from Portugal drew the game. Did you hear anybody criticizing anybody outside of Ronaldo?
Yes, I've heard him saying the midfield needs to do more, just like you are saying now. I've heard that multiple places.
But then how comes we can't hear it?
Because you are not objective.
But then
no, because you're not objective, CC.
The Nations League. What do you mean not objective?
You haven't said the 3 videos. No, you haven't said the 3 videos. No,
you can't send me, but I have not heard it.
Yeah, man. We know you're not going to hear, man. We know you're not.
But I just show you.
Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo is getting unfair criticism?